everyone. Welcome to the 54th episode of the World of DVC show. My name is Olivia, and I'm here visiting my Auntie Kerri for the holidays.
Happy holidays.
We're all celebrating, and in addition to celebrating, we figured we would take you back in time to all of our starts at Disney, which actually all started in the same way with
the Disney College Program. Gather round.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now entering the world of DVC, the ultimate DVC destination where magical vacations meet incredible value through exceptional service. Put in your headphones, turn the volume up, sit back, relax, and step into the world of DVC.
Just wish on a star.
Enter the world of DVC.
We're missing Derek.
We're missing Derek, but look who's back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You have
Good
had
to be back.
a little bit of a journey in the last few months.
Yes, we added another member to our family.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We were so thrilled. When did we announce that? September.
Yes. Yeah, when she
September
was born.
17th, when she was born. Beautiful Adelaide May.
Yes.
Oh, how are you doing?
I'm good.
I've missed you.
I know.
We connect and chit chat, but we haven't really done this for a little while. I know. And no Derek, so we can actually get some conversation.
This is
today.
true, yes.
Sorry, Derek, we do miss you though. But it's wonderful. And happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yep.
Happy holidays. We're into now the holiday season.
Yes.
And just so thrilled to have you back.
Yes, we decided to change to
Change
a
up the
holiday
scenery. Exactly.
backdrop today.
I love it. I love it. Pivot
This
up.
is
a little bit.
Kerri and I's pivot for the day. So we actually locked ourselves out of the office because we decided to film this on Black Friday. Apparently that's a holiday.
Apparently so. We had no idea that the office would be not just shut down, but nobody's there, locked. It's gated. There's nothing we could do. So this is pivoting at its finest. Used to do a lot of pivoting in 2020.
Yes, here we are
Still
again.
pivoting. Yes.
We're pretty good at that though.
So we're here in a different studio. You're back. Derek is kind of out and about as well. But we're here to this is the final episode of the year. Yeah. I feel like we just filmed our New Year's Eve, our January.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so crazy. But this is a great episode.
Yep.
It's very special to me.
I feel like when I kind of went back, when I was looking at the theme of this year.
Yeah.
A lot of the theme of this year has been around kind of going back in time of what was that spark of DVC or what was that growing up DVC? Yeah. We've had a lot of that. So I feel like this episode will kind of sum up all of that. And what we're doing is we're going back to kind of how we both began with Disney.
Exactly.
Which is the college program.
The college program. It all began in Disneyland for you, right? Walt Disney World for me. And now we continue to look at the next generations and generations and generations with my niece Olivia being here and being on the show. And she just finished her Disney college program this year. And so we've done it. We've talked about college program. We've had Owen on before.
We get a lot of questions on it too. I don't know. I get emails all the time. Yeah. How did you get started?
Yes.
How was the college program?
Right.
And so we were you know what? We need to just do an episode where we go into detail about it.
And I think it's so great. Like I just said, Owen was on.
Yep.
Derek's son. And then we had Ben on, growing up Disney part 2, DVC part 2. And now to kind of have Olivia on and sort of round out the college program and her experience of being a cast member and also a legacy college program because her parents met on the Disney college program. I did the college program. So it's it runs in the family as well.
Yeah. I didn't realize her
so cool.
Met. Well, we'll get into that.
We'll get into all of that. She'll spill the tea coming up in a little while.
Well, awesome. Before we jump into that, Kerri, have you been doing anything?
I think of myself as making really good life choices. Yeah. Life decisions.
Yeah, I would say that about you.
A couple weeks ago, let me know in the comments too. We love to hear from our audience members. Let us know if you made this life decision. I called one of my best friends, Maxine, and I said, John Stamos is going to be at EPCOT. I am a huge John Stamos fan. Now, I don't go back to Full House days.
You don't?
I go back even further.
Oh, okay.
I go back even further.
You didn't do TGIF?
We did TGIF, but I also did General Hospital.
Oh, yes.
Now we're going back.
I wasn't allowed to watch that.
You probably weren't born.
No, I was, because here's what would happen. My mom would watch it with George Clooney and John Stamos, and she'd watch it in the living room, and I would sneak out in the hallway to peek and watch.
That's when the days of the stories. Remember later, your grandmother's stories were on, or your mom's stories were on.
You know, my husband still calls them stories.
Stories, yes, because that's what they were, like, quiet, the stories are on, right? Well, we didn't really watch it, like, we were in school, but General Hospital was over, school was over at like 2. General Hospital started at 3. And so we could watch it just in time. So John Stamos and Rick Springfield, like, they were on General Hospital. Well, anyway, I called my best, you have a best girlfriend, right? That will just do anything for you. I feel like that's you. That's also my darling friend Maxine. And I said, the Beach Boys are going to be at EPCOT. I'm not a huge Beach Boy fan. Like, I like their sound and everything, but John Stamos is going to be there.
So you knew that ahead of time.
I did.
Okay.
Because
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I didn't. How did you know this?
He posted it on his Instagram because I follow him, of course, on Instagram.
And your algorithms must be where
it just popped up. So we go Sunday. We think this is a great idea. We walk into EPCOT. Remember, we had the conversation about when you walk into EPCOT, do you go left to Mexico or right to Canada? The consensus was left to Mexico. We took a right, and we walk in through Canada, and we're both like, wow, it's not that crowded. This is so crazy. It's food and wine. It's a gorgeous Sunday fall night. Like, so strange. Like, UK is a little bit more crowded because they've got the band playing and everything. France is a little bit more crowded, but that's where the champagne lives. And then Morocco, and then we see the dining line for the, the dining package. I'm like, that's quite a line for the dining packages. And then we hit the American Adventure. And we were like, well, no wonder why nobody's over there. It's because they're all over here. It was wall to wall to wall to wall people. And then we keep walking just to see where the standby line is. I won't take you all around World Showcase like we did, but we ended in Norway, and that's where the line ended.
Oh,
that's where the line ended. Now, there's 3 shows. There was the 5:30, 6:45, 8:15. By the time we hit Norway, I said to her, they do realize these people, you're not getting in any of these shows.
No.
There's no way. Your
show's not that long.
The show's not that long. But it's 5 o'clock. The show starts in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
If you're expecting the 8 o'clock show or the 8:15 show, whatever it is, that's not going to happen because you have the whole dining package line to get through. And then groups of these people. This is in Norway. This is crazy. It was a madhouse. So we made it back to American Adventure and stood all the way back where the Club 33 entrance is.
Yep.
And I had my phone up like to try, I was desperate to try to get just a video. And this really tall, very lovely lady next to me said, if you trust me with your phone, I can see if I can get a video. And I said, I can't see anything because I'm 5'2" on a good day. So she did. She put my phone up. I'll send the video in. It is the shakiest, worst video. But you do see John Stamos just kind of run by the stage like once. It's so funny. It was just like, that was the bad part. The good part was that the iconic sound of the Beach Boys was so cool.
You could hear it.
Of course. It was just madness. And
it's crazy what a crowd he draws. You think of like all the different people they have.
Yes.
For these events and the bands that come. And then that I don't know if they realized it was going to be that.
I don't think they did. I don't think Disney was prepared. And I don't think anybody.
Otherwise he would have been like a featured act.
Exactly. Well, that's what we say. Like nobody moves people better, first of all, than Disney does, right? They prepared it where like you had the theater and then you used to be able to just like stand outside the theater and you could listen and see some things, but they had it taped off where you could put 5 rows of people in standing room only outside the theater. Then it was the walkway, and then they had it taped off again where there was 5 rows of people on the other side of the sidewalk as well. We were like, this needs to be moved over to the Millennium Village.
Yes.
You needed a ticket for this. Like this could have been a whole dining experience where like you go and have dinner with the Beach Boys and John Stamos. I mean, people would have paid good money for that. I feel like this was, and it was all kinds of different generations. It was just, and people were like, crying. Like the crowd was so excited to see them. I've never seen anything like it at the American Adventure. And then the next day, people would post on Facebook and say like, if you didn't go to EPCOT last night, like you were smart. This was the crowd. So I said to Maxine, I feel like we were part of history a little bit.
Yeah.
We were part of some
Disney
history.
We'll see if that ever happens again.
Oh my God. It was out of this world. It was crazy, but it made for like some fun stories.
Yep.
We didn't get what we wanted to get out of it as far as like getting a seat or really being able to see anything. But next year, I thought if he does come back, the dining package is the only way to see it.
Oh,
Most definitely. It was crazy. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. So that was my Sunday a couple of weeks ago, And otherwise, I haven't done too much Disney. A little bit of EPCOT.
No. You went to Epcot.
again, I know, without the going to see John Stamos. So I'm always going to Epcot. But like, I haven't yet to do the resorts. Like, I love to go see the Christmas trees and stuff like that. So that'll come up, this month and everything. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's been crazy, but the weather has been spectacular.
It has.
We have had spectacular weather. We're freezing today.
Yes.
We're having a bit of a cold spell. We're not complaining.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. Other than having, giving birth to a baby. What have you been doing?
All those things.
Yeah, just nothing.
In terms of Disney, we popped into the Wailulu Grill, which is my husband's favorite.
I love it there.
And Paul just posted a new blog on DVC Fan that they're finally allowing reservations for
read
that restaurant, which about time.
I know.
It's such a great restaurant. And to me, it truly is a restaurant, not a lounge. Right. Like for them to group this in with Geyser Point.
No.
And compare them to be the same. It's not. It's an actual restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating because you go and it's never super busy.
No.
And then you feel bad for the staff. You're like, well, I hope the restaurant doesn't like close down because it's never busy.
Yeah.
But nobody can get in because you have to go through all these hurdles to get in. And I have multiple hurdles that I go through to get parking to get in. I won't say how I break the rules on this on this episode. I'll save that for personal one-offs. But now that you can make a reservation there, it's going to be so nice.
Oh, yes.
But we went and we walked around the Polynesian, which was wonderful. Beautiful. Shopped in the shops a little bit. Yep. And that was kind of my Disney. You know what else we did? We did brunch at Cake Bake as well.
Oh.
And thanks to you, we go back just for the chicken velvet soup.
I'm telling you, the chicken velvet soup is so dreamy, isn't it?
It's so good.
It's really good.
And my husband, who loves to cook, it's his favorite. But he's like, I would not dare try to figure out the recipe because I probably don't want to know how much butter and cream go into this soup. So it is a special treat.
It's called velvet for a reason,
yes, exactly.
right? It is so delicious. I haven't done brunch at the Cake Bake. I've only done lunch. I haven't even done, I did dinner, but in the Indianapolis Cake Bake.
Okay.
The original one. But it's phenomenal, isn't it?
And I mean, technically I say brunch, but we were at the lunchtime.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they had a separate brunch.
They do have a separate brunch, but it ends at 10:30, I believe, which is a little early for brunch.
Yeah, that is early.
So technically we're lunch because you can't get the soup unless you're there for lunch. Oh. You can't get it during the brunch time.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But because we were about like 3:00 on a Sunday, we qualified for the DVC discount, which they don't usually do discounts at Cake Bake, but they have a DVC. They didn't have annual pass, but they have DVC discount. So
good to know.
Yes,
that's excellent. They do a beautiful high tea also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we need to go to high tea. Yeah, we need to do high tea at the Cake Bake. Right. I haven't been to it. I don't think I know anybody who's done it, but I've seen it on Instagram, and it looks. I mean, of course, it's beautiful, but yeah, Cake Bake.
That'll
is
be
special.
our New Year resolution.
I love that exactly.
High tea at Cake Bake.
That's pretty much it, though.
Yeah,
I know.
We're getting into that holiday season, and I feel like so. Like I try to get everything done and ready before December, so that way we can do all the things. Because being in Central Florida, there's so much to do.
My gosh.
Actually, tomorrow we're going to go. The Ritz here in Orlando has ice skating with real ice.
Yes.
So we're going to do that tomorrow. So we'll check back and let you know how that is.
They did last year, the little market.
Yes, I want to go to that with you.
Yeah. There's a lot of little golden nuggets
there. We need a whole blog or episode of just like what to do in Orlando, because there's just so much in Orlando.
In addition to Disney, in addition to Universal, there's so many great resorts. Gaylord Palms has the whole ice exhibit. Yes. Ritz-Carlton does the ice skating and the whole market, outdoor market with the snow. There's so many great ways to still get in the holiday spirit, even though we have palm trees and oftentimes 80 degrees.
Yes.
Yeah, but there is so many different unique ways to kind of venture out. So if you drive here, or even an Uber now, to venture out and everything and get out of that. We all love our Disney bubble, but just to get out of the Disney bubble, maybe for just a little bit, and just experience some of the great offerings here in Central Florida, that'll be really fun.
And I think speaking of that should be our giveaway this month, is what is your favorite thing to do in Orlando outside of Disney?
What have you done outside of Disney
that you've loved? And I think maybe we make a whole future episode of like
I would love
things outside
that's
of
a great
Disney.
idea.
So put it in the comments, things outside of Disney that you love. And I would love to see if there's things we haven't done yet. We can go experience them. But make sure you email us info@worldofdvc.com, and we will pick one lucky winner to be our final winner of the year to win a $100 Disney gift card.
$100 gift card. That's always exciting.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, can't wait to see what your thoughts are and see if we haven't heard of some things. I know there's a ton of stuff to do. in and around town.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
before
wonderful.
we jump into kind of the core of our episode, instead of doing around the world of DVC, one thing I just wanted to touch on is something very special we're bringing back this year.
Yeah.
Actually, two things.
Yeah.
So one of them is our Giveback November,
Right.
which we have now kind of renamed to Keys to Kindness.
Yep.
Obviously, this year has been a really big kind of branding year for us with having Keyholder Vacations. We did a big release and announcement of that at the very beginning of this year
Right.
with Keyholder Vacations, which really truly has allowed us to branch out into kind of things outside of Disney, which we asked you to write about. But being able to do things like Universal, we also have our loyalty program that we released, and that's everything from booking a vacation with Be Our Guest Vacations to financing a contract with Monera
Rental
to
store.
buying Universal tickets or Disney tickets. So we've been able to do so much with that, and we've seen so many of you sign up. We actually have just shy of 6,000 of our guests
Amazing.
sign up to our loyalty program.
It's been a huge success, the loyalty program.
So if you have a chance, go to the App Store, download the Keyholder Vacations app. You'll be able to sign in. And even if you've done business with us over the last year and a half, we will retro back any of your transactions to get you keys for that. The app is fantastic. It's super fun. There's also some other fun holiday discounts in there, whether you're shopping for Lost Bros merchandise or Kendra Scott is one of my favorites, where you can save up to 60% off. So if you're looking for Christmas gifts, it's right there. You'll get a link, stock up for all your holiday shopping in there. But we did Keys to Kindness, and that was our Giveback November. And I wanted to announce something truly spectacular. This year has been the most successful by far. We sponsored the gingerbread run. We actually reached out to all of you, our audience, our family in the space, and asked you to donate as well. And we actually, from outside donations, have received just over, I believe it's $25,000.
Amazing.
And then in
Absolutely
addition to
amazing.
that, we also have what we gave back from the company side of things. So I believe all in all, we're going to be just shy of $50,000 for our Giveback November.
We have seen this. We've done this now 3 years.
I think we're going on four or five. I'll have to go back and check. Yeah.
We've been doing it for a little bit.
Yeah.
And we see it just grow every single year. The generosity, the excitement, and just the kindness that our audience, shows to this organization is amazing. And Give Kids the World has been in Central Florida for over 30 years. And they do just amazing, amazing work with these families and with these kids, and really just bring so much magic and joy to these families. So thank you all who have donated. It's been incredible.
And thank you for partnering with us. And it's, like Kerri said, amazing to see the results. So that's kind of wraps up our whole November, right? And then really quick, before we head into to all the madness of the holiday season, we have our 10 days of deals. So that's starting December 1st, and it will go through December 19th. Head over to keyholdervacations.com/deals, and you will be able to see all of the deals. But make sure you're following us on social media. All of our social media accounts will be posting out what the different days deals are. But you're going to see everything from onboard credits with booking cruises, promotions for Universal, discounts off tickets. So if you need tickets for the next year, this is the time to get them. But we're super excited about that. So our 10 days of deals coming up this December.
We need like a little jingle or something to, Jeff needs to put like a little 10 days of Christmas, holidays, deals, something.
I'm sure he can do
Jeff
it.
can whip that up for us. Yeah, exactly. Very
All right.
exciting.
Well, Kerri and I have, again, like we said, we have so many people asking us, how was the college program? How did you get started? How did you get into it? What are the benefits of it? And so we figured, you know what? We love your emails when you ask us, but why not do a full episode? And Kerri's niece has just finished the college program. So we're going to go kind of back in history a little bit to Kerri's time at Walt Disney World. I actually did a little bit of research, and I was one of the first ever at the Disneyland program. So I'll go into a little bit about that.
Disneyland opened their college program much later.
They did.
Than Walt Disney World for size reasons and whatnot. But it was kind of like the test phase of Walt Disney World to see, how it was working. And then California students, I think, were like, we want to do the Disneyland program. And that became incredibly popular as well. And one of my friends who Marissa, one of my really good friends, John Stevenson, was one of the originators of the Disney College program as a leader and recruiter out there as well. So it's all like once you kind of find your group of people that you just sort of go, oh, that all makes sense. Like we all kind of have very similar things in common. It's like you just kind of keep that momentum going. But he started the Disney College program out in California, and then came here and became a recruiter here as well. So it just is, everybody just has had a hand in, kind of people's careers and where it started. And you don't just kind of knock on the door any longer at Disney, or it's a hard company to get into. And especially back then, there was no social media, to help out. So you had to kind of find an internship, a way to network with people and leaders and get your resume polished and whatnot. And that was a great way, and continues to be a great way, to get your foot in the door at Disney.
Yeah. And so Kerri's niece, Olivia, just finished up her time at the college program. So we'll do the past and the current, and then the future, right? If you're looking to do that, what does that look like? So welcome, Olivia, to the World of DVC show.
Well, look who's here. Straight from Delaware. This is Olivia.
Hi, everyone.
Olivia
Thanks
is
for
my
coming, Olivia.
You're welcome.
Olivia, my niece and goddaughter. I have an older sister, and this is my oldest niece. And then I have a younger niece, Bridget, who's 14, who is leaving Boston today to go back to Delaware. So anyway, Olivia came for Thanksgiving with one of her best friends, Kyle, and we're so happy to have you join the podcast. I feel like this has been a little bit of some time in the making. We've talked about this for a few months now, and it always feels like the holidays are not going to get here, and then here we are, and we're filming today.
Blink.
So
Yes.
You blink, and they're here. But anyway, so happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here as well.
Good. And so we were talking earlier about the Disney College program. As Marissa said, we both started on the college program. So many Disney cast members and former Disney, that's such a great stepping stone into the Disney College program. I, of course, know your story. Marissa doesn't. We kept that all a secret, so we didn't give too much away. But tell us a little bit about, you, before you get into the college program, where you're from, and what made you apply to be in the Disney College program.
Well, I was born in Massachusetts, in the same place that my aunt grew up.
Right.
But when I was younger, my dad was a bank examiner with the government, and so he moved around a lot. So we lived in Syracuse, New York, for a little while, and then we moved to New Jersey when I was about 7, and then we moved to Delaware when I was about 11. So I've lived in Delaware for the last 10 years. And while there, I decided to join community theater, and I hit my 10 years with the theater that I go to, the Everett. And I've done community theater for a while. I was just an actor, and then I decided to move into more behind the scenes stuff. A few years ago, I directed my first show, and then I have a new show coming up, and I also do sound design for them, and that's my favorite thing to do is work the sound. And then
the Everett Theater too, something really historic about the Everett Theater, that is where Dead Poets Society was filmed.
No way.
Yes. So if you've ever seen the movie with Robin Williams, Dead Poets Society, part of that movie was filmed there.
It's filmed in Delaware. I know it's kind of random.
Yes, it's you can see so much of the backdrop, right? Of course, when watching the film. But their theater, I love going there. All the seats in the theater are red, that red velvet. But where Robin Williams sat, it's blacked out.
Yes.
Put black velvet over the chair in honor of Robin Williams. So it's such a historic.
It is our claim to fame.
It's the Everett Theater's claim to fame. It's a beautiful little theater, and you did kind of all the disciplines at the theater as well, right? You've done everything. Pretty
much everything. The only thing I really haven't done is true lighting design, and that's where my best friend Kyle comes in. He's my lighting expert, but everything else we've kind of done together, and I've handled a bunch of different roles and stuff there, and I love it. I love community theater, and then I'm also a college student. I'm in my senior year at the University of Delaware. Studying biology, so not theater related at all.
Right. Completely different. Yes, completely different. And you're at University of Delaware. Tell Marissa, tell myself, everybody listening to you, what was your inspiration to start the Disney College program process and kind of venture down to Central Florida?
Well, I'm going to be really honest. I didn't really have an interest in doing it. I knew that my parents had done it, and as my aunt had mentioned, that's how they met. And so then I knew that they had a great experience, and we come to Disney about at least twice a year usually, to visit my aunt or to go to the parks, and
or to do both.
Yes. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I wanted to take a break from college. And I was talking to another friend of mine, and he had said that he was doing the college program, and I thought to myself, I guess I'll just apply. I'll just see what happens. And then I went to my interview, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of excited to do this. I think I'm happy to do this. I think I'm really excited. So I got my interview, and this all happened in like November, December of last year. So around this time.
Yeah, you're right.
And yeah, that's how I kind of decided to go into it. Really, it was just a friend of mine, and we ended up both going down over the spring, and we had a great time.
So tell me about your interview and then kind of the next steps after that.
My interview, I actually took it, I remember very distinctly. I was in my dorm room. It was a phone interview, not a Zoom interview. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I was very nervous. I wanted to make my family proud. Like, obviously, you know, my aunt and my parents doing it. Like, I didn't want to be, you know, like the loser of the Disney College program. I wanted to make sure that I was making them proud. So I was very nervous. But I don't remember exactly who I spoke to, but she was very kind, and she asked me, you know, different questions. And I remember saying to her, you know, I love Living with the Land. That's one of my favorite rides. I think it would be great because I am a biology major and everything. And I remember saying that to her, and I don't know what came over me. Like, I didn't know what job I wanted to do, but my mom had started in attractions as well. And so I guess it just came over me, and it worked out because that's what I got. I got to do Living with the Land.
Nice.
Living with the Land. We always joke with Olivia that her and my sister had two of the greatest jobs, and my brother-in-law and I did not.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody out there, but my sister was backstage studio tour when it was Disney's MGM Studios. Olivia was Living with the Land. I was outdoor quick service foods. The hardest
How
job.
you got that?
How I got that? The hardest job still to this day that I've ever had. And then my brother-in-law was strollers. And this was when like the metal strollers. And he's like, we had to walk around because I said, I had the hardest job by far. And he's like, I can match you and beat you. He's like, I had to go around and collect the strollers at the end of the night, and they were metal. I'm like, all right, you win. Yeah. So they really got the greatest job. Olivia used to joke with us and be like, I can't get you on Guardians, but I can get you a fast pass to Living with the Land.
Yes. Priorities.
Yes.
There is a group of people, though, that it's very popular.
Oh, it's very popular. And there's some people who are big, like, and I follow a lot of them actually on social media, that they're big Living with the Land fans who would come, and they have decorated their own ears or hats to make it look like the boats.
Cool.
And people have the shirts now that you can get on Etsy, and I have one of those. I have a World Nature shirt, and it's big. I feel like there's like a good cult following.
There really is
of the attraction.
Yeah, thanks to social media.
Yes.
There's so many Instagram
There's fun little
moments.
like areas now that you can really kind of dive into.
Absolutely.
When I did the college program, I wanted to do entertainment, which I'm sure both of you probably did as well with your backgrounds. But I remember you couldn't do, like, they wouldn't let me go into like regular entertainment or characters or parades or shows. The only part of entertainment we could do was character host. So the people like walking around with the characters.
Yes.
Was that an option? Was entertainment an option for your college program?
For me, it wasn't, but we're talking about 1994 also. So there was 4 options, and it was like attractions, food and beverage, merchandise, and custodial.
Okay.
That was really it. And you could pick, well, you couldn't pick anything. I kept saying, great movie ride. I love the great movie ride. I'm really
trying to get your
great
entertainment
on a
element in
like
there.
I'm a little shy in person, but then I'm really better in front of people. And she was like, great. Quick service food and beverage at Magic Kingdom. I'm like, who? What?
What about for you? Was there? Did you choose options?
There was, part of the application process asked, like, what are your interests? What are you thinking about? There were, I think, more options than that, because now I actually had I knew a few people who were at hotels and like helped with hotel service and stuff like that. As runners or people who, bring baggage to people's rooms and help them get in like the minivans and stuff like that, or concierge help. To my knowledge, I don't believe you can start off your college program in a true entertainment position. Yep. I do know character attendance, kind of what you just described. But I have a very good friend who, she extended her college program and she went into being a character. Okay. And she did go that entertainment route, and she was part of the parades and everything. Yep. It was just an extension of her original program.
Right. Okay. I mean, I like to bend rules. If you tell me you can't, I say yes. Why not? So I remember I went in and I was like, okay, I'll do the character attendant thing, but I'm meant to be in the parade. That's my calling. So I just kept being like, I'll just show up at every audition. when you look at like, okay, how do you get like different directions in life, right? I think the college program opens doors. And I also think with Disney, it's not giving up. And I think you've seen that from like your time as an ambassador. And it's, yes, you're going to go to auditions, you're going to go to interviews, and you will fail and you will be told no.
Right.
And a lot of times that's when people shut the door and they go, okay, then it's not meant for me. But then there's the other side of it of like, keep going. And so I was just the girl that showed up at every audition and they were like, but your college program. And I was like, I know, but I'm here. And finally they were like, just be in the parade already. So like
somewhere.
2 months in, they were like, just let the girl be in the parade. So I switched over departments 2 months into my college program.
Oh, that's so funny.
But I didn't know if that was still, I don't know why that's a thing, but it was very much a thing.
I know when I was a recruiter, we would go to different cities and do character auditions for college program or dance auditions and whatnot for character performers. And so, but it was certain, it would be New York City. I know I went to Utah, Salt Lake City, Colorado, they go all over. And because it's very specific, of course, in height, in, silhouette, the whole thing. So applying like we all did is not an option to say, I would like to be a character performer.
But if you get recruited
and go to a specific audition for the college program, then you could do. But there's so many different, opportunities now where back in the 90s, of course, it was so much smaller. So it was only 4 different disciplines. And then you might be able to branch out into professional. But now today, there's so many different options. And when Olivia had said, I really would like living with the land. What do you think? And I thought, just say, just tell them. It's being a recruiter when you meet a student who goes, I would love to be in the parades. I would like to be in the Great Movie Ride. I would love to be at Living with the Land. That makes their job much easier because then if they see that talent, then they can slide you into that slot too. So if you're thinking of the college program, be vocal about what you want to do. Never guarantee. I think you were very lucky to get what you wanted.
I also think there's not very many people who are requesting Living with the Land.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
So I'm sure that recruiter was probably like, she really wants this small ride. So I guess we'll give it to her. Like
attraction.
Yes, good. Yes, this small attraction. Yes, I think.
Because you did Living with the Land and the movie upstairs too, right?
It's all connected for our portion, yes. And then if I had extended my program in the same spot, I could have trained at some of the other attractions. Okay. World Nature, like Soarin' or the Living Seas Pavilion or Figment. So there was a few other options, but yes, Living with the Land was in charge of Awesome Planet, the movie that's upstairs.
Awesome Planet, that's right. Yeah.
So I know a lot of like people go, okay, what's then next, right, with the college program? So obviously, like I want to ask you this question because you're just fresh from it. But first, starting with you, Kerri, when you went to the college program, what do you think the biggest benefit was from you now looking back at kind of your professional career? What did it provide you the most of?
It's my life was like, you can see the difference. You can see pre-college program, post-college program. And I was a pretty average student growing up, and I danced and cheerleaded and like did all the things that you do, but I was really kind of introverted sometimes and then very extroverted. And I feel like the college program sort of brought out, I am truly an extrovert. Yeah. And that brought that out. It also taught me about professionalism and getting to work on time. And at Disney, you don't just get in your car or take the transportation and go to work. You have to go through some steps before you.
I have a whole nother story on like running late to the college program.
Right. And I worked at Magic Kingdom. That you worked at, of course, at Magic Kingdom at Disneyland. And I remember we had a walk time. So if my shift started at 7 a.m., I had to clock in, say, I'm making these times up because I don't really remember, but say I had to clock in at 6:15 a.m. And then I had like a 40-minute walk time because you have to take the bus to the wardrobe. You had to get your costume. You couldn't take your costume home. And then walk through the tunnel, go upstairs, sign in, do all of your pre-shift whatnot for the bakery. This is before Starbucks was there. It was the Main Street Bakery and Ice Cream. So there was a lot to do. And I remember thinking like, I am exhausted before I have started work. And then calling my mother. Literally dialing my mother, and this is back when you had calling cards, and like dialing her at work, and she'd pick up, and I'd be crying, and I'd say, I'm tired, like they're working me so much, and this, and I'd complain, and she'd say, I think you're exactly where you need to be. I love you, goodbye. And she'd hang up on me, and I was like, and like, this isn't the day where you can just hit that, mom's phone. I had to now dial 92 numbers to get her back, and she wouldn't answer, and so nobody had sympathy for me back home. And so I think the college program for me was really about just growing up, maturing, professional acumen, handling difficult guests, and then handling magical moments and really being confident to make a magical moment for people and being creative.
Yep.
But coming home, I remember my parents said, like, this is like a different 20-year-old walking in the door. It really does kind of shape you.
Yeah.
And even though it is difficult, but making magic, working for a company like Disney with the values, the core values, the standards, the world-class service, you're going to work hard.
Yep.
And I think the key to Disney is working extraordinarily hard and making it look incredibly seamless. And that's, I think, something that I have picked up along the way.
Oh,
Yeah, we both work very hard and a lot, but it's not looking like haggard at the end of the day and just worn out.
That whole being on stage element.
Oh, the on stage versus backstage is huge.
It's such a huge thing to learn in life in general.
It
and
really
you try
is.
to train that now into like, obviously, like our company is not at Disney, right? Not everyone was a cast member.
Right.
And so that's an element to try to like bring into our teams of like being on stage, the point of not like pulling back the curtain on certain things. There's things, and you see that now in other customer services where you're like, you shouldn't have pulled back the curtain. You should have been on stage for that, which applies to not just an entertainment company, but to the world.
Yeah.
But I echo a lot of what you learned from yours, and I'm curious to what you took away, but very much that I was in a town about 45 minutes from Disneyland, but of course, LA traffic. A lot of days would take 2 hours or so to get to Disneyland.
Did you live off property? You lived
So
at
there was
home?
no such thing as property.
Oh, there was no housing.
No housing. It was very transient.
Yes.
So it was very much focused on like the local community of colleges nearby. Some people would fly in and rent apartments, but it wasn't set up for that. So my college was 45 minutes, but that was on a really, really good day. That's like 2 a.m., you know, when we would be putting on a new parade or doing trainings. That was great.
Something overnight.
But for most of the part, I would leave like 2.5 hours each way to try to get there on time. But it's as painful as that was, you learn the priority of like when to leave, how to manage your time, how to understand like if there's an accident, what do I do? How do I prepare? How do I have this conversation with my leader? So all of that really got into play. And I think another big thing, Disneyland is so tiny, right? When we look at like the scale of things compared to Disney World.
Absolutely.
But we were in the Team Disney building where we would go. And so all of the professionals at Disneyland, everybody from just like the entry-level professionals to the very, very high up, were all in the same building.
Yeah.
So you would run into them all the time.
Yeah.
And one of the courses that we did was Marketing U. And you do learn that in college, right? You learn how to do a resume, or even in high school. But there was something unique about the Marketing U course of these different executives would come in and you'd get to go through their different like seminars and learn about that. But then it was like a quick, like, how do you have that conversation with this executive? And it was learning how to talk with people way above my pay grade, and learning how to talk with professionals and being in the same room.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was so huge then, and to learn that so young. And that kind of carried through my whole Disney career, because Disney is very much, and you learn that then in the world, right? It kind of goes on. But Disney is very much about who you know and how you have those relationships.
Right.
And every single relationship will come back. Kerri and I laugh about that.
So
but
true.
Everybody you've worked with, even now, I cross paths with them all the time.
Yeah.
One of my dear friends who I worked at Disney Cruise Line with, he's from Paris. We connected. We've been friends ever since. But our travel agency needed to get a relationship with the Disneyland Paris. And they don't talk to each other. The U.S. travel agency and the Paris don't. And so I was able to get a connection. They are now one of the top 3 Disneyland Paris travel agencies in the world.
Right.
And they went to go just this last week for all the announcements, everything going on. Our travel agency was there. But all of that was thanks to learning how to connect and network. So I feel like that for me, that networking is a huge takeaway.
Absolutely.
But being so fresh and brand new from it, what do you feel was the biggest takeaway for you?
I feel like I learned how to interact and like present myself, and very much what you said, like how to interact with people in a professional environment. Like back home, I am a server, so I interact with people of all ages there often, and you do have to kind of cater each experience to different age groups.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're working with teens or working with families or working with older adults, like you kind of have to understand how to talk to people and how to interact with them to make their experience good.
Yeah.
And it's similar at Disney. You just have a new age to deal with, which is just younger kids. And then obviously talking to my leaders and my coordinators and understanding what you said. I have extreme anxiety. So I also left work, even though I was at Flamingo Crossings, which is only about 25 minutes from EPCOT. I left work about an hour before I needed to be there because
you never know, especially here in Orlando, you're like one wrong light.
Yes.
If you have a left-hand turn, you're going to be in trouble.
I would rather be, and I will fully admit I'm usually a late person. It's just who I am. I try to be on time. I try my best. But at Disney, I truly learned like the importance of, being on time for work and understanding, like I did have an incident one day where there was just a car accident near Coronado Springs. And that's right where you turn if you're coming from this way. And it would have either taken me 20 minutes to go around or 20 minutes to sit in the traffic. And so I did have to talk to a leader and kind of explain, hey, like, this was out of my control. I left in the correct amount of time. There's just no way I'm going to get there on time. And it's important to be able to advocate for yourself because I think with this age of social media, it's easy to just, send a text or something like that. But we don't really have that privilege being college program students. It's kind of the only way to contact your leader is to call them. And I am okay on the phone, and I got a little bit better being on the phone. And just interacting with people who I might not know as well, but who are still my boss and who still control my job and everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was one of my biggest takeaways. And I also learned like just how to interact with people better. And I met so many people from around the world. You would never expect that at Living with the Land, but because we're not part of one of the countries in EPCOT, I actually had friends from Puerto Rico, friends from other places in the United States like Arizona, and then one of my good friends is from New Zealand.
Nice.
So I met people all over the place. Right. I had another friend from South Korea.
Tell Marissa about the gentleman who works at Living with the Land and his wife works.
Oh my goodness. What is his name? Ron. His name is Ron. And he was the sweetest man. He's about my grandfather's age. He was like early 80s. And he was the sweetest man, was always so kind to me. And I was talking to him this one day and he goes, oh, I'm off to lunch with my wife. And I said, oh, you only have like a 45-minute break for lunch. Like, is your wife coming to Africa? Like, what's going on? And he goes, no, she works in America. And I said, are you kidding me? He goes, yes, I've been trying to get over to America so we can both work the movie there together. And so every time he had a 45-minute break, they would work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And he would go over and say hi to her and interact, which if you don't know, Living with the Land is about a 10-minute walk to America.
Right.
And this man is up there in age. So, but he would scurry over and scurry back and was never late. But he just wanted to go and interact with his wife, whether she was working or on a break as well. Like he would just say hello and then he'd come back. And I just thought that was so sweet. And actually at the end of my program, he got approved for his transfer. So he's in America.
And the story ends well.
Yes, he's in the American Adventure now. He's no longer at Living with the Land. So I haven't seen him, but I do follow him on Facebook. So I heard about his transfer and everything. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad because I just, what a dream to have, you both work at EPCOT. It's part of your retirement job. You get all the Disney benefits and you still get to enjoy the weekdays free.
And go to and be together. Yeah. That's so special about Disney and the college program is that you're there for such a short amount of time and you see these people who've made their life. Yes. That's their career. And then other people who've come back and this is their second or third career or this is their retirement because they want to get out of the house and enjoy the Disney benefits. And it's like you have, when she would come over to my house and say, oh, my good friend Ron. And then she said, Ron's 80. And I said, Ron, tell me about Ron. I'm so interested. You're 20.
Like I had so many friends of so many different ages.
So I remember when I first sat in the break room, which the character break room, we called it the zoo. I don't know.
Yes, the zoo. They do.
Disney World. Okay.
They do call it the zoo.
And so we would sit back there, and I remember one of the performers that had worked there for years, he sat down and he's like, let me tell you about when I worked with Walt Disney here.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
It's just like those moments again, being so young and
Yeah.
you're so like full of like wanting to learn
Right.
and take it all in. I think you come with different eyes coming
Yeah.
from the college
Yes.
program,
Yeah.
and you're so thankful to be in and be part of like something very special. And so if you can clue into those moments, you get those special moments, whether
Yes.
it's Ron or this gentleman who he has been all of these years, and he got to do things different in the character department. They let him because he was like an OG, and they were like, if you want to go do this or do that or
Yes.
make magic here,
Right.
you do you. He was like semi-retired, but just
Love
he
that.
loved it and
Yep.
came back for the fun of it.
I love it. We were talking on the way over here about you never know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
You never know who
Truly.
who you're interacting with. And former leader of mine, remember in New Year's, you remember the cross U's that we used to do as management and leaders and whatnot. And during the holidays, you'd go into the parks and help out a little bit. Well, he was over at the laundry services at Disney, and that's a huge, massive operation. And it was New Year's Eve, and I think he worked like 4 to 8 in the afternoon, and all they were doing was folding towels for 4 hours, just folding towels and sheets and whatnot. And when he came back, he was sharing with us in our team meeting about his experience. And he said, I was working with this really great lady named Mary Lou. And he said, I had no idea who she was. She would just talk about her team and her, a little bit about her career, but mostly we talked about this operation and the holidays and this and that. He said, when I left, I looked her up and she's a GM at the yacht club. And he said, I'm standing here as a leader, but she's a GM. And he said, it made me rethink my conversation with her. Like, did I complain a lot? Was I pleasant? Was I professional? And I think that's for me, I always go back to that. It's like, I've always been a pretty buttoned up person just naturally, but Disney kind of, I think, polished that with the professionalism. And I love what Olivia said about advocating for yourself. I don't think I ever advocated for myself. It was like, this is the rule and you broke it. Well, there's sometimes a reason why the rule, I'm late or you have to break the rule. But so Disney kind of taught me to professionally advocate for myself.
Yeah.
And, there's a way to advocate that's correct and not correct. And I think that, you never know who you're speaking to. You just never know that next opportunity might come from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
true.
crazy too. I think there's some people that stay in the Disney like sphere. Some people stay working for Disney, or like us, stay in kind of the Disney sphere
Adjacent,
of things.
yeah,
near it.
yeah.
And you'll meet people along the way, and a lot of people will stay in that industry. And so you'll see all these different people who you've kind of grown up with. And
Right.
so that's kind of the next stage of it that
so
I've so enjoyed, is seeing all of my peers who I've grown up with and seeing what they do now. One of my friends is the main, he oversees all of entertainment at Walt Disney World. And so it's been fun to see like this year, especially like bringing back the Starlight Parade and things like that. And him being able to have those accomplishments.
Yes.
And so all of those things, it's fun to see that come and grow in your time.
As you get older, you see that you were the Disney babies.
Yeah.
And now you're the Disney adults.
Yes.
And, we were watching the Disney special on Disney Plus the other night that premiered, I think a couple of weeks ago. And Melissa Valaket is a VP at Magic Kingdom, but I saw her as a tour guide and then as an ambassador finalist. And then she was the team that inspired me to go out for an ambassador, but it was 10 years prior to mine. And so to see where she came, and then the other night we were watching it, I said, oh my gosh, that's my friend Melissa. And Melissa's really a mentor of mine. And like you said, Marissa, just to see like the people grow into their career. So whatever you do, you'll always have this Disney level of service. Talk about, you work at the diner, Metro Diner in Delaware. If you have not been to Metro Diner somewhere in America, it's fantastic. But you talked about your leader and the Disney training
the Metro Diner started in Jacksonville, and a lot of the executives, including my boss, were trained or were former Disney employees. And I think it's really silly that I started working for the diner before I started working for Disney. I've been there about 4 years. But a lot of the qualities of leadership are similar in both jobs. Sort of the, the family aspect, the customer service first. Like, yes, we sell things. There's we have a business to run, but at the first and foremost thing is safety and customer service and treating people like their family. And I think it's really silly that was kind of my introduction to customer service and what taught me so much.
It's so similar.
Yes. And I do feel like a lot of the things that I've learned at Disney and learned how to do at Disney have helped me as a server when I came back this summer and this fall. Like, just being a good role model to other people and training other people and trying to, understand how different people learn, and just in just everything, and just my customer service, the way that I talk to people and the way that I can interact with people of all age groups.
He said too about the Disney scoop, that when you see
he had forewarned me. He was like, Olivia, I'm just warning you, they do this thing called the Disney scoop, and they pick things up off the floor, and I like anything that's on the floor. And I noticed that my boss had done this in the past. And I was like, and I mean, normally at the end of the night we sweep and everything. The diner gets messy, especially in the back of house with the kitchen and everything. But I noticed that he would do that, and I was like, I don't know why he just doesn't grab a broom. But I was like, and then on my first day of training, we were taught the Disney scoop, and I was like, oh, it's all coming back to me. I'm understanding now.
From Middletown, Delaware, down to Walt Disney World in Florida.
And those are those elements that I think even with our company here at Keyholder Vacations, not all of our team has been cast members. A good handful have. But being able to then have our leaders who've passed that down, or our peers who've brought that in, it brings so much of that culture. And if you can capture little bits of that culture, whether it's through the college program or other people who've kind of instilled that from being a Disney cast member, it definitely elevates that business, right? And that quality. Kerri, what year did you do the college program?
94.
Okay, and it came out, what, in the 80s, early 80s?
Yes, 81. I think
81.
I think it was 81. Yeah. So I wasn't the original. Thank goodness. There was the original group of college program students stayed at Snow White's Village, which was a campground.
Wow.
Which is
trailers.
Still there. Yes. Trailers. There was a payphone. It was a dirt road. It was hysterical. Like what I could never have done the Disney college program. Let's just put that
Thank
out there.
goodness, Kerri.
Thank goodness it was the 90s. And then they built Vista Way.
Yep.
And then Vista Way was kind of the place for both international, still a very small program because everybody, internationals and domestic students, all stayed at Vista Way. And then little by little, they expanded and built different apartment buildings and whatnot. And then now they have the state-of-the-art Flamingo Crossing.
Oh, wow.
In over kind of near, like Olivia said, Coronado Springs. So just off Disney property. But it's two really big buildings of apartments. But they have the state-of-the-art classrooms and...
Oh, so the classes are there.
The classes are there, yes.
Nice.
And they are, you train either there or some of your training can be at Disney University. All of mine was on Flamingo Crossing.
Right.
Nice.
But yes, the buildings are wonderful. I lived in a 4x2, so there were 4 bedrooms, and then I shared a bathroom with my...
That wasn't the size of it, right? 4x2?
No.
4 people?
Sorry.
4 bedrooms?
4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yes. Split in half.
That sounds like a box.
Just a box. No.
Very small box.
And it was great. It was a good size for me, and I was lucky to live with one of my best friends, and I met her there. Like I had no idea who I was going to live with, and she turned out to be one of my very best friends. And
nice.
It was interesting because she was custodial at Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
And then our third friend was a character, and then she transitioned back to her original college program job, which is quick service foods. And we all would say all the time, like, we could never imagine doing each other's jobs.
Isn't that funny? They were put in the right spots.
We truly were put in such great spots because none of us could imagine being another person's role. They thought I was crazy for doing attractions. Like, there's so much safety, so much regulation. And I was like, I could never clean stuff off Main Street or make food all day. I was like, I don't know how these guys are doing it. But we were such good friends, and it was a great experience. Like, you also, because you're so close to everyone, and there's 2 sides of Flamingo, the east and the west. I lived on the west side, but all of my friends were close by, so we could just walk to them. And there's a pool at Flamingo Crossings, a big gym.
Nice.
And then the classroom is on the east side, which is just a short bus ride away. And then they provide us buses to go to all the different hotels and parks and everything. And it was great. I used that, and I also had brought my car with me as well. So I had a little bit of freedom. So
she was over at my house doing some laundry every now and then.
There we go.
That's okay. She was more than welcome.
The 4x2 didn't have
4x2. Exactly.
Didn't have laundry.
Small,
I did a little bit of reading up, and so I read about kind of the start of the Walt Disney World, and then I was curious about Disneyland because I was like, I'm sure when I started, it felt like they were trying to figure it out. And so I was like, when did it start? So Disneyland, it started in 2006, and I was 2007. So they were figuring it out, which was kind of cool because I think we got access to more things that maybe they wouldn't have normally had. But I did read that during COVID it shut down, which all of it shut down. But Disneyland has never reopened, which is quite unfortunate. And hopefully they'll figure that out. I think they need to probably figure out the community element because again, for us, we were living way off campus, right? Driving in and then going to that Team Disney building, but I do think that it's kind of cool to go back in history and look at like what was the start? When did it launch in other areas? Right. But I also found there's an alumni association.
Yes.
And are you signed up for it?
I am signed up for it.
Okay, I just signed up for it.
Oh, good. Yeah. I was on the opening team of that, like the conception of the Alumni Association, because we found that so many college program alum weren't with the company any longer for whatever reason. They relocated, family or whatnot, but still had this desire to meet and connect and everything. And with the power of social media, it was like little groups were popping up out there. And we said, as the recruitment team, what year was that? 2000, I want to say it was maybe 12 or 13. We should create an alumni association. And so thus it began. And there used to be, well, again, pre-COVID, right? Everything was like pre-COVID, like a once a year get together and a big party and everything. And it's massive.
Yeah.
But to kind of go back to your point, Marissa, earlier about the networking, you don't get a better networking group than a college program alum. True. Because, right, everybody from whether you stayed with the company or the external experiences that you have, whether it be that surrounding kind of adjacent like you and I are in, or something, broader than that. It just is, it's a great group. So yeah, Disney, I'm glad you're part of it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Alumni Association.
We'll see how it goes.
Yes. Did you join? Because you can now.
Oh, I guess I should.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like so many of the people who I either did the program with are either in higher positions, even though it was only a few months ago, like have moved up. And I know a few coordinators now and different friends have moved to higher locations and whatnot. But so many of the people who have graduated from that have since gone on to other customer service jobs.
Yeah, right.
I have a few friends, a lot of my New Zealand friends became flight attendants, full flight attendants. And my friend from Puerto Rico, she's becoming a pilot. So there's I feel like, this is obvious, but the college program it opens so many doors for you.
It does.
And it's just, the second someone sees it on your resume, it's everything that they talk about.
And it's a conversation starter.
Oh,
whether or not
100%.
they understand the impact of what it
Yes.
is. People, like when I was in California, which again, it wasn't very well known, but I remember it being on my resume and people were like, Disney has a university, a college?
Right.
Like, what? Yeah. You went to Disney school? And I was like, well, kind of. But sure, let's go with it.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was like such a great conversation in the interview.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it helps you stand out too if you take the best of the college program, if you take the best of your leaders and kind of leave aside, it's life, right? No, nothing's perfect. There's not going to be always a perfect leader, but if you take the best of your experience, and like I said, I joke about that call to my mom, that was a real phone call to her oftentimes. And then when you step away from it, you go, oh, maybe I wasn't being the best. Maybe I could have tried a little harder or been a little understanding or been more curious or whatnot. But it really helps you to stand out in an interview, or you meet a professional and they say, there's just something different about you. And you've got that Disney polish. You understand that service element, like Olivia said, or that creativity, that ingenuity, of being a problem solver. And so it's taking the best of the college program and sort of leaving like the muck on the side, going, where are the best little nuggets of information that I've gotten, and take that into your professional career. You will stand out at every conference table, Zoom call, interview, because you've just got this Disney polish that truly just Disney does it the best.
And we'll get so many either people that write in or a lot of parents write in about their kids and ask, hey, is it worth it?
Yeah.
And I would say, to your point, Kerri, time and time again, yes. And it's an entry-level job, right? So there is going to be the muck with it. And you're going to go, oh, this is hard or not fun. But take that, put that aside, the opportunities and the doors it opens. It will be fun, Olivia, to see through the years and watch where it brings you, because I think we're going to see paths open up for you. So we'll have to have you back on to see what are different doors that you've been down thanks to
and
this.
one of the things we were talking about too is to kind of bring it back to like that creativity and that service is, you've probably had this training in traditions. I don't know if they teach this question still any longer, but we used to be taught, if a guest comes up and asks you at Magic Kingdom, what time is the 3:00 parade? That's the question. What time is the 3:00 parade? And we used to implement this into like a lot of trainings and whatnot to say, what is time is the 3:00 parade problem? Because if a guest comes up and says, what time is the 3:00 parade? What's the answer? Obvious.
3:00.
3:00. But really, that's not the answer. And I think everybody out there, our DVC families going, I know the answer, right? Because if the parade starts in Frontierland, but you're asking this question on Main Street, USA,
You want to know when it's going to hit.
when is
in
it going
that
to pass by
location.
me is the question. I don't care that it starts at 3:00 in Frontierland. It's not going to get to me till 3:15, 3:20. So here's the answer. It's going to start in Frontierland. It's going to come around, down by, the Hall of Presidents is going to make the loop into Liberty Square and then around the hub. And then it's going to come to you. You're going to hear the music about 3:15, 3:20. So if you're thinking, do I have time to get the ice cream? Do I have time to run to the restroom? You do. But I'd be in place by about 2:30, 2:45. That's the answer versus 3:00. That's not the answer. And so it's like that creativity of Disney to say, it sounds like such a simple question, but if you tear that question apart, what are we looking for? And I think that's kind of the key of customer service is like, what is the problem? What problem are you solving for?
It was important for us, like if you've ever been to the Land Pavilion, like we have a few attractions in there. We have Soarin' and Living with the Land, and then the Awesome Planet movie upstairs.
Right.
And we had a greeter position when you first walk into the building, right by the sign, and the age-old question was, where's Soarin'? Well, the real answer is it's downstairs. And if you take a few steps forward, you'll see the giant light-up sign that says, Soarin'! I promise you, it's huge. But you have to remember, in my first day trainer, I remember he told me this. He was like, you can't get frustrated because this might be your 800th time hearing this question. And you heard, I go to Disney about twice. I know where Soarin' is. But for these guests coming in, it's their first time asking that question.
Yep.
It's their first time being in the Land Pavilion. It's their first time ever thinking about Soarin' around the world. And so you had to remember and kind of shake it off that, like, this is someone's first time, and it's an opportunity for you to be kind to them.
Right.
Because saying it's downstairs, and being gruff with them makes them want to go, I don't know if
This is very magical.
I don't know if it's worth it to ride Soarin'.
Yeah.
But if you say, oh, it's just around the corner, it's downstairs, you're going to head that way, then they feel more inclined to ride the ride.
Yep.
And sometimes I would throw in there, Living with the Land is also a great option. Usually a short line,
Living
air
with the Land.
conditioned, sitting down. So I would throw that in there sometimes too. Like, it's important to remember that, like, customer service is at the heart of being a Disney cast member. And there's always a way that you can make someone's day a little bit kinder.
Yeah.
And it makes them nicer if something does go wrong, because anything's possible. The elevator or the escalator could be shut down, or the ride is having a temporary delay, or anything like that. And you're more inclined to be kinder to the cast member if you've been treated with kindness throughout your day.
Right.
One of the things I loved that I first learned that's carried on with me through all these years is you never say no to a guest or I don't know.
I don't know.
And or not I don't know, but not followed up with but let me help you. Let me
exactly.
figure it
Let
out
me
with
find
you.
out for you.
And I think
Who can I ask?
Yes. And I think taking that moment to say, I don't know, but give me 1 second and I'm going to find the answer for you. In this fast-paced life, we're so like, we want answers. And it's so frustrating if somebody says, I don't know. And then they just let you go and you're like, what?
Yeah.
It's so frustrating because you want to know. And then you're like, where do I look it up on my phone? So having that humility to say, I don't know, but let me figure it out. It allows you to be a human. And I think to your point of showing that kindness, it allows you to be a human with that person to say, I don't, but I'm going to do it with you and figure it out. But also I think when you fast forward and look at like leadership, and you look at like now with like growing our team and working with our team members, as a leader, it's okay to say, I don't know. You don't have to know everything. And I think I learned that very much from my time at Disney of being like, I don't need to be perfect and know everything. But what I will do is I will provide the service.
You know how to
resources.
You know how to find the answer.
That
was a big thing during a lot of the festivals, because people would ask, where can I find this bee marker for the little Flower Garden Festival, or where can I find Buzz Lightyear in flower form? And I was like, oh heavens, I don't know where you can find that, or where can I find this specific drink? And I would say to them, let me talk to a coordinator, or let me talk to someone walking by, or I knew I had a few friends who had already done the festival, and actually going to the festival itself was kind of helpful, because then I could say, hey, here's a good tip for where you should go for this, and this is a good drink. That's that's okay. Like it was a good marker, because I was able to find the answers even if I didn't know them. And that's always
I think with social media too today, it's like everything's on Instagram or Facebook and it's reels and the influencers are posting all these great things. And as cast members, you are expected to know probably double what we had to know, right? Because people come in and go, where's that chocolate drink and you're like, I don't know. But I can
There
find
was a
out
chocolate
for you.
drink?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Let me try my best to help you.
exactly.
I'm like looking at these videos in the background of the video, like, what does this building sort of look like?
Yeah.
Like that was a lot of my job, was just looking at people's phones and being like, where do I think this is on the park? So
it's good though that you enjoy, and we all enjoy the product. So it's like, okay, do I have to go walk around the Food and Wine Festival or Flower and Garden to do some product knowledge? I suppose I'll have to.
I'll do it.
I'll do
Take one for the team.
Yeah, take one for the team on my day off.
it's a business expense. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think overall, when people have asked us, like, hey, is it worth it? Now, I think you've seen 3 total different takeaways,
Completely
right?
different
like I think
experiences.
from your time at the college program to what it is today at Disney World is so different. And then mine is a very different little pocket of the world that had it. But it definitely is worth it if you're on the fence, if you have kids, if you have grandkids and you're thinking, hey, should we try? Do it. It's such a cool experience. It's so worthwhile. It opens doors, but it teaches you to the core that service element, but I think also like the magic of the service and having that on stage element of creating magic for others, which carries on in every different area of life.
Everything that it does.
I do have to mention, I'm applying for a grad school right now, and I brought to my application my resume. I had an interview with the guy who's selecting. I want to be a teacher, and so it's for secondary biology education. And he's looking at my resume, and he was like, "You worked at Disney World?" And I was like, yeah, I did the college program. And he goes, really? This is really good. And I'll let you know, like, my grades are average. I'm an okay student. I love to learn, but it doesn't always come out of my grades. And he was like, I really think you should apply for this program. We might have a spot for you. And I was like,
see?
Wow, Disney opening my doors for graduate school.
Even after.
Yes.
It's like Marissa said, it's a conversation. As big as this program is, there's still an element of like, what is that like?
Yeah.
I've never known anybody who's worked for Disney.
Yeah, not a lot of
people do. And now I know you.
Yeah.
And so it is a conversation starter. And it's still to this day, like you see generation after generation after generation, even this generation, there's still an element of mystery there.
Yep.
And it's just, it's life-changing. It really is life-changing.
So we hope that you guys had a chance to learn a little bit about the history of the college program and really how it's changed our lives and our starts to our careers. Yeah. And again, it'll be fun to see, Olivia, where this takes you. But thank you guys so much for watching. Before we finish off, though, just don't forget, we'd love to hear about your favorite places around Orlando or Central Florida, outside of Disney. So put it in the comments. Olivia, what's your favorite? Put you on the spot here.
I would say,
what have you done outside of Disney?
There is a bookshop that I love to go to. I used to go to all the time with my friend in Winter Garden, but I also love the New Romantics. That's in closer to Winter Park. That's a great place. I'm a big reader.
Yep.
I love that.
Well, the Lost Bros, who we do a lot with, they love it there. And they have done a lot of t-shirt collabs there.
Wow,
Lex did a book reading there. So
it's a great place. And I love the Hangry Bison. That's in Winter Garden.
Oh, that's in Winter Garden, Plant Street.
Such a great restaurant. Try it. It's great.
Yeah, little downtown Winter Garden is
even all
really
of Winter
cute.
Garden right now. It's so like
Oh
the
my
city
gosh,
hall
yes.
and everything. It's
Oh,
so
it's
beautiful during
adorable.
Christmas
Yes,
time.
beautiful.
So if you're here during Christmas time, pop into downtown
It's
Winter
very
Garden.
like Main Street.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really
It's
great.
like real life Main Street.
Yes, for sure.
This is a nice episode too. I was just sitting here, like we're sitting here around a Christmas tree. This is such a great holiday episode with your kids. Your kids are home from college, and or it's school break or whatnot. Learn from a college kid.
Yes, exactly.
All about your career and what could be next and everything. But thank you again for tuning in always and for a great year.
Yes,
I can't believe it's almost 2026.
I know. We hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year,
holidays, Happy New Year to everybody, and thank you so much for your contributions to Keys to Kindness and for all of your love and support throughout this entire year. We could not do what we do without all of you. So thank you so much. And I think we have, Olivia does not know about our long-standing tradition, but I think
Well,
you do
we'll
out
see if
there
she can pick up
in
on
the
it.
audience. So we have a long-standing tradition of 4 years now?
Yes.
A long time.
Yep.
And that is that we have one thing left to do. And that is that we say, just follow our lead.
Ready?
Okay.
We'll see you real soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
It starts with a spark, alive in our hearts, a chance to build your legacy. To go to magical places with smiling faces and value and trust you can see.